Mask Monday, and I have a La Cloris Ultra Glow Moroccan Rose Mask. I've done this one before and I liked it, so we're going to do it again. It's about half gone. It's kind of a little bit gritty, so it's kind of an exfoliating mask. I'm going today. I was going to do it on Friday, but I changed my mind. I'm going to do it today because I needed something for Mask Monday. I'm going to give you some crazy Texas town names, and some of them I have the reasons behind why they were named that, and some of them I don't, but I just thought that would be kind of fun. They've got some crazy town names in Texas. They probably do in your state too. I think every state's got, particularly in the South, we've got some crazy town names, or in the South and the West, I think, more than although up in the Northeast they have some of those Indian names are kind of hard to pronounce and interesting. Alrighty, let's see. I'm not done. I've got 40 of them here, but I'm not going to do all 40, but let's see. I think this is 10 minutes, so okay. Alrighty, the first one is Bug Tussle, like B-U-G, tussle. It says, a swarm of insects once ruined a church picnic, inspiring the town name according to one popular tale. Cool. The origin of this town name might be a bit of a mystery, but the name's irony is lost on no one. With the hot weather most of the year, cool it's anything but. I used to live in Sacramento, California for a while, and there was a cool up in the mountains on the way to Nevada too, but I think it was with a K. Cut and shoot. Okay, this one I gotta read. It's got little blurbs sometimes of what, little stories of what the name is. It says, Cut and Shoot was named after a disagreement among residents back in 1912. According to the State Texas Historical Association, the reason for the confrontation differs depending on who you ask. The dispute was either over conflicting land claims among church members, the design of a new steeple for the town's only church, or the issue of who should be allowed to preach there. During the tense dispute, a small boy at the scene reportedly yelled, "I'm going to cut around the corner and shoot through the bushes in a minute." For whatever reason, the boy's words stuck, and the residents had later adopted them as the town name. Cut and Shoot. This one's funny. Dish, Texas. This rural North Texas town, formerly known as Clark, agreed in 2005 to change its name as part of a publicity stunt with Dish Network to get its residents free satellite service. I wonder if it worked. Let's see, these are all kind of boring. Let's find something better. Oh, this one, Frog Knot. Some say a strict schoolmaster forbade his students from bringing frogs they captured to class with them. So it's Frog Knot, not any frogs. Goodnight. The town was named for famed cowman Charles Goodnight. Gun Barrel City. I've been to Gun Barrel City. The town's name is derived from its motto, "We shoot straight with you," and its symbol is a rifle. Happy. Boasting the motto, "A town without a frown," this panhandle locale gets its name from Happy Draw, a nearby stream said to replenish cowboys passing through the area. Hog-Eye. Legend is that this community in North Hunt County got its name from a Masonic lodge constructed in the area. The symbolic eye of the Masonic order looks like a hog's eye to some. Italy, well, we know where that one came from. There's also a Paris, Texas, too. I've been there, too. Jot 'em down. A local opened a store named Jot 'em Down Gin Corporation after the fictional store in the radio show Lum and Abner. State Highway Department later used Jot 'em Down to identify the area. Lay's Buddy. L-A-Z Buddy. It was a combination of two local businessmen's names. One of them was called Lay's and one was called Buddy. They were their nicknames. Level land. Yeah, Texas is pretty level. Originally dubbed Hockley City, the town south of the Panhandle was soon renamed for its topography. Yeah, pretty much everything in Texas. When they say they've got like hills, I'm like, yeah, maybe an ant hill. when they talk about hill country, and I'm like, I've used to live in California where they've got the Rocky Mountains. Those aren't even hills, much less mountains. Loco, so named after the loco weed that grew in the area. Nada. No, the town's name doesn't mean nothing like it does in Spanish. The town's name is adopted from a Czechoslovakian word meaning hope. That's kind of cool. Nameless. The story goes that when the residents of the community applied for a post office, they had difficulty getting the post office department to accept the names they suggested. After several names were rejected, the residents wrote back saying, "Let the post office be nameless and be damned." The department took them literally and the post office became nameless. Noodle. It's named after a creek nearby, Noodle Creek. No trees. Yeah, well, there's a lot of that in Texas. The town's name arose from, no surprise, its lack of trees in the area. Reportedly, the town site had just one native tree before construction of a large shell gas plant forced its removal. So now it's got no trees. Oatmeal. Yeah, okay. The town is named either as an adaptation of the name of Mr. Othniel, Othneil, who owned the first grist mill, or a translation of the name Habermill. Haber is a German word for oats, so it became oatmeal. Some of these names is like Pflugerville. I've been to Pflugerville. It's Pflugerville. It's named after a guy named Pfluger. Palestine. It's named after Palestine, Illinois, where the earliest settlers used to live. Rainbow. This one's funny. It's Reklaw, Reclaw. The town was laid out on land owned by Margaret L. Walker. When local citizens wanted to name the town after Walker, they were told the name was already in use by another Texas town, so they spelled it backwards. So Reclaw is Walker spelled backwards. Sour Lake. Okay. Sweetwater. Well, I guess that goes along with Sour Lake. You got Sweetwater and Sour Lake. Tarzan. Settler Tant Lindsay submitted a list of 14 potential town names to the U.S. Postal Service. Officials approved the name Tarzan and made Lindsay the first town postmaster. Telegraph. So dubbed for the telegraph poles cut to support communication lines to early United States Army forts nearby in Telegraph Canyon. Then there's telephone, telegraph and telephone. Twitty wasn't named for Conway Twitty, it was named for Asa Twitty. Uncertain, well, the origin of the name Uncertain is, well, uncertain. West. Oddly enough, West Texas isn't in West Texas. The town was not named for one of the four cardinal directions, but a person, Thomas West. Okay, Zephyr. That's it. And there's some crazy Texas laws, so maybe next week I'll do, this is almost dry. Maybe next week I'll do some crazy Texas laws. So if you haven't watched, I did a Dia & Co. unboxing over the weekend and a Diva bag by Sonia. And coming up, I've got my Luxury Diva box, and I'm kind of dreading it because the ones I've seen other people open, I didn't like anything in the whole box. So we might have a Luxury Diva giveaway. If I don't like anything in the whole box, I just might give it all to you. And speaking of giveaways, we have a collab coming up in a couple weeks. There's 13 of us now. And we're talking about, we're already doing it so that each of us is going to have a giveaway. And then we're talking about pooling some money together and having a grand prize of however much we can get, $250, somewhere around there. And to encourage people to subscribe to all of us. If there's, a big money prize, we might get some more people willing to subscribe to everybody, because it's kind of a pain subscribing to 13 people if you're not already subscribed to them. But we're just discussing that, but that we're heading towards that direction. Even if it's only $100, that's still $100 is $100. We'll see how much we can gather together between us all and have some kind of grand prize in addition to 13 other prizes you can apply for, or giveaways. And on the 16th, 17th, I forget, several of us are doing a spring makeup collab. So I'll be watching for that one. I'm feeling somewhat better today. I made, instead of ham or turkey or any traditional Easter thing, I took a London broil, it's a good tasting meat, but sometimes it's a little tough. And I take a quarter cup. I should have filmed it, but I still don't feel good enough to mess with that. Quarter cup of oil, quarter cup of balsamic vinegar, quarter cup of Worcestershire sauce, and a quarter of a cup of soy sauce. And then to that I add 3 tablespoons of whatever seasoning you like. I don't know if you have Saltgrass restaurants by you, but they have a grill seasoning mix. They make any kind of grill seasoning. I use 3 tablespoons of that, a tablespoon of chopped garlic, and a teaspoon of pepper. And I mix all that together and marinate the steak like overnight, and then grill it, and then we slice it thin on the bias, and it's yummy. And then I didn't have any, I like to buy those frozen yeast rolls that you just let rise. I didn't have any, so since the dog woke me up about 6 wanting out and nobody else was inclined to get up and let him out, so I let him out, and I thought as long as I'm up, I have a loaf of frozen French bread like dough. So I thawed that out, and then I made it into rolls with the steak and then a Caesar salad. It was pretty yummy Easter dinner. If you don't eat meat, which I know some of you don't, I think that marinade would be really good with those big mushrooms that almost like a hamburger looking mushroom. If you marinated those in that seasoning sauce, I bet that would be yummy. And then grill them on a grill or on a griddle. Just a suggestion for my vegan/vegetarian friends. Alrighty, let's wipe this off. If I can get it off with one paper towel. Might have to get like a washcloth or something. It's kind of gritty. It's turning this little pink. I always think it's interesting how dark my hair is when it's wet. This is the color it used to be when I was young, and then it lightened up. We talked about that last week, I think, when I did a Mask Monday, about how dark your hair gets when it's wet. I have an appointment mid-May when my granddaughter gets home from college, and she and I are going to go we both go to the same woman, so we're going to go together and get our hair cut. Little granddaughter, grandma time together. Probably go to lunch too. But she's in the process of, she's been in the dorm, and her and her dorm mate, they don't hate each other or anything. They just don't have anything in common, just didn't click, you know what I mean? So they're both looking for somebody else. So instead of staying in the dorm, my granddaughter's looking to, they have a lot of condos and houses that are like 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, where they, you know, 4 roommates will share, and that way they'll have more of a house to stay in, better than an apartment, either a condo or a house. So they have like a Facebook channel, I guess it would be a channel anyway, where people post either they're looking to add to somebody else's place, or they have a place and they're looking for new roommates. So she's looking into that. She's going to meet one girl this week, see if they, you know, what she thinks of it. Maybe go by and see the place and see what she thinks, because you kind of have to decide now, even though you don't really move in till next August, this coming August. But, you know, people want to get all set before they go off to college. I mean, before they go home for the summer. She's thinking about applying. There's a coffee place here she was a barista for like almost 2 years before she went to college, so she's thinking about applying to this new coffee place and see if she can get a job for the summer and being a barista again. Well, I don't think I got it all off, but it definitely didn't make my skin feel soft at all. Yeah, it feels dry and rough, so I'll have to try something else. I liked this one last time I used it, so maybe I'll use it next time. Well, I hope you all have a good week, and if you like unboxings, I do some cooking videos, I do Mass Mondays, just random things. If you enjoy a little variety in your life, subscribe. I'm creeping up there. I'm almost at 350. I'd like to hit 400 soon. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, it goes in fits and spurts. I won't get anything for a month, and then I'll get 20 in a couple weeks. And then I'll go backwards 10. Or, you know, it just, I don't know why, but YouTube kicks people off all the time. They kick me off other people's channels and kick people off of my channels. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know what their criteria is, what makes them decide to do that, but everybody complains about it. I hope that we'll see how this seems like clearer to me. I have a brand new iPhone 12. Spent my stimulus check on it. I'm stimulating the economy. Bought myself an iPhone because mine was just, it kept about once a day or once every 2 days, the keyboard you couldn't bring up the keyboard, so you couldn't do anything. So it was a 7, so it was time for it to go, because that's what, 5 versions back, so it was getting up there. So now I have this pretty red iPhone 12, so hopefully it'll last me a few years, because I'm not one to change a phone every time a new one comes down the pike. I'll get this one, and then it should last me till it doesn't work anymore like the other one did. Have a wonderful week, and happy Mass Monday.